Hello, it's been a while since my last stream, but I have a free evening, so I thought why not do some coding and uh, finally start with the project that I was sort of designing for so long. So welcome, and let's see what I have up to you guys today. If only I can move to the next slide. So in the last episode, I was doing some wireframing. I've designed some basic screens based on similar applications. And the next step I thought back then would be to have a concrete design, have the project in Figma, where I would start to design all the buttons, text, layouts, all that stuff, and it seems reasonable. Usually, when you create a production app, you do this. You do the design. You maybe implement some basics and then create a whole design system so you can build your app from the blocks, at least from the design or the UI perspective. But I decided to do otherwise. So I decided I don't need Figma design, like very concrete one at this point because, well, I'm not really a designer. I could design something that may look nice, but won't be that usable. Uh, so I would probably also waste a lot of time on making this design, and it most definitely wouldn't be good or even good enough for the app. Uh, So I decided to just start implementing the basic functionalities that I want to have in this app, and then let's see how it goes. If I have these screens that will work as I would like to, uh, I maybe then do the designs, or most likely hire someone, some professional, to do designs for those few screens, pay them, and then just implement what they created if I like it. Uh, I don't have any idea how I would like this app to be. I would like to keep it with the same colors I use everywhere, so orange, dark, gray, and etc. Those are like my favorites. Uh, and I also want to leave the backend for way later. My first idea was and still is to use some serverless functions, probably on Firebase, because I was already using them and it works. It integrates nicely with the Firebase notifications that I want to use to inform multiple clients for this app about user actions. But maybe it won't be. I mean, the serverless functions. I think it would be good for the beginning only. And if ever the traffic grows, I would probably need to have my own server app. Also, developing a server app could be fun. Recently, I finished the training for AI, using AI in development, and there are a few tasks, but one of the last one was also it relied heavily on creating a web service where you would then provide the endpoint to that service to the testing machine, and they would send some data to that endpoint, and then you would have to do some AI operations and respond with something. They would verify if the response is right. So I spent some time setting up the Ktor. Not interested. Yeah, thanks for offer, but I'm not interested. Anyway, so I had a bit of fun implementing the Ktor service. I probably did it in a horrible way. I'm pretty aware of that, but it worked, and I could send some requests there, and I will probably also have to do this here. And that would prevent me from vendor locking my whole application or whole system on Firebase, so I could then switch the notification service provider, or I could even do something on my own that I hope I will never have to do. So anyway, today I want to start the Kotlin Multiplatform project from the wizard provided by, I think, JetBrains. I decided to go with Kotlin Multiplatform because it actually works, and it's completely different. It's a different thing from Kotlin Native that I had some experience previously, and the experience was pretty, well, not bad, but it was really hard to develop something reasonable there. Because it's native code, so it's compiled for the specific architecture or processor, and there is a lot of limitations. With Kotlin Multiplatform, there are still limitations, but you can use basically everything that Kotlin allows you to use, including coroutines. It's obviously then translated. I mean, you don't need to translate it in a special way when you use it on JVM, so on desktop and in Android. But you can also use that code on iOS because it's translated to Objective-C. There are some problems with this. Sometimes you lose the information about types, which is annoying. But I really hope I can use a lot of like shared code for this project. The whole view models or events that will be coming from UI and then sent to the web server or whatever. And I also hope I can share the UI, because now you can use also Jetpack Compose on the iOS. It's in alpha, I think, but it's a pet project, so why not try it? In worst case scenario, the UI on iOS will be completely native, but still the whole domain logic will be shared. And probably with some wrappers, and maybe using callbacks instead of I don't know, streams or whatever there is available on iOS side. I should be able to still keep a lot of the code Kotlin. So I want to start the multi-platform project, and then I want to add in that project, so it actually does something. I would like to add 2 pages, one with Pomodoro, one with Flowmodoro. I don't know if I want to have those 2 functionalities. I'm not sure yet if I would like to have it on 2 pages, but it would be just easier to design it as 2 pages available from the bottom navigation. Pomodoro is pretty well known, I think. So you work for 25 minutes and then you have 5 minutes break, or different intervals, but basically there's always like period of work and period of break. But Flowmodoro is something different. I wanted to check like who created that way of working, or who invented that term Flowmodoro, but I couldn't get to the root of it. It's basically, you don't have a period of time when you work. You start working and you see the timer and it goes. And then when you feel like you need a break, you just stop it. And based on how long you were working, you get the longer or shorter break. Basically, you divide it by 5. So if you work 25 minutes, like in Pomodoro, you will get 5-minute break. If you work for 50 minutes, 50 minutes, you will get 10 minutes break, etc., etc. And you can probably also design it to maybe inform you like, hey, you should take a break like after half an hour or something. Basically, the idea here is to not stop you in the middle of doing something just because some alarm goes off. And it's especially interesting in the type of work that I'm doing. I'm a software engineer, so often I'm deep in the rabbit hole, and I just need a few more minutes to finish something, and then I can kind of release my brain and go have a break. But if I stop when I'm in the middle of doing something, it will take me a lot of time to come back to that place. So it's actually, it may be much better for some types of work, especially if you have to concentrate on something. So yeah, so this is something I would like to implement today. Do I have any more slides? Ah, yeah. So I decided on few tools that I would like to use today. There is a new IDE from JetBrains and it's called Fleet. But I may also jump to Android Studio. Fleet is kind of like a universal tool for any kind of software development. It's not dedicated to any particular technology. It's more like dedicated for cooperation. You can really easily start a pair programming session online with your teammate. And it has also some like they call it smart something or whatever. So basically, if you open some project in, let's say, it's an Android project, but you open it in a Fleet, Fleet can automatically get all the plugins for the language, for the technology that you are using, and kind of rebuild itself to serve this particular project. So if I'm using Kotlin Multiplatform and I open this project in Fleet, it will be able to understand Kotlin, to understand Swift, to run the project also on desktop, to build everything. Because in Android Studio, I won't have any support for Swift. For Swift, I would have to use probably IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate with the Swift plugin. I've, as far as I know, there is no, was it Appcode? The JetBrains application for Swift development or iOS development in general, or macOS development. I think it was Appcode. So they are not selling it anymore. It's not available on their site. They just they now just have a plugin for IntelliJ Ultimate. So I will start with Fleet. Maybe I will jump to Android Studio. Depends. I want to use Coin for DI because DI or dependency injection is actually interesting in Kotlin Multiplatform because you can use multiple libraries or ways to achieve DI. You can have, for example, Coin in the shared module, and then you can have a Dagger or Hilt in Android application, and then you can have I don't know, Swift inject or something in iOS application, because obviously you cannot use Dagger in Swift. So yeah, because the shared code will be packed in a library with some entry point, and that's basically it. So there is no reason why you wouldn't want to have multiple dependency injection solutions. Coin is fairly nice and it's quick to set up and easy to use. And I know it works with multi-platform. That's also important because Dagger, I think it's not working with multi-platform. I think it's relies heavily on Android, same as Hilt. So obviously you cannot use it in the shared module. There is something similar, I think Kotlin Inject, which is using more Dagger style annotations to achieve the dependency injection. But Coin is I think good enough, at least for start. If I have some structure, some services, repositories, whatever, it won't be that hard to actually replace one with another if I feel the need for it. The next thing, Jetpack Compose for use everywhere. So like I mentioned already, I can use the Jetpack Compose also on iOS, and I really want to do this. So I want to have the same button, the same like, I don't know, text fields, the same everything. Probably also some custom views to show how the timer goes. I really want to share it, not to write it once in Jetpack Compose and then in Swift UI or what's the framework there. I also want to check like how well it works and what problems there are. I don't think I will need networking today, but if I do, I will use Ktor. Because again, I know it works on Kotlin Multiplatform. I think Retrofit doesn't, at least from what I researched. There is some library that makes Ktor work kind of like Retrofit, but on the other hand, like, why would you even need that? Ktor is perfectly fine the way it is. It's, I think, simpler in the setup than Retrofit. Yeah, and if Ktor for some reason is not working, probably there are some wrappers, and I actually found one. There is the last point here in the tools slide, Moco libs. This is like a set of libraries for Kotlin multi-platform, and they're pretty widespread. Like you have libraries for networking, even for using sockets, and the library for networking is actually wrapping the Ktor client. So I don't know exactly what the networking library from Moco is doing with Ktor, so it's better, but I would like to check it out. There's also MVVM library from Moco, so I could use the same view models on iOS and Android if I keep it in the shared code, and I could use Moco, so they behave properly on both platforms. Again, I don't know the details how those things work. That's why I have this project. I wanna check a lot of stuff and play with it. Okay, so let's start from creating a multi-platform project from the website. Okay, so that's the JetBrains wizard for creating a multi-platform project. Oh, they have template gallery. They will have at some point. Okay, maybe let's. I think that's better. At least it's this screen is making my face brighter. Cool. So the name for the project is Zen Timer, obviously. The project ID. I don't think I have the domain or anything registered, so I will just go with my GitHub IO. Do it like that. Android, yes. iOS, yes. Desktop. I wonder if I want to add desktop here or not. I mean, it won't hurt, but I don't want to work on desktop now or even at all. But maybe let's compose multi-platform. Oh, okay, let's have it here. What's that? Getting started. Ah, that's fine. And let's generate the project. Okay, let's download it. So let's move it to the repository. It's there, cool. And now let's open the toolbox and start Fleet. Is it starting or it's somewhere behind? Show. Okay. For some reason it's there. Okay, and now I would like to open file or folder, then timer, open. This. And I wonder if it's already working or I have to switch the smart mode, because the smart mode then will figure out what the project is and index all files and then download everything that's required to actually run it. I just noticed this is really, really tiny. Can I make it like a zoom? Okay. Ew. Dark or purple. I kind of like this one. Okay, guys. I think it's the first time ever I hear my MacBook fan spinning. I think it's due to the Fleet IDE doing some heavy lifting. Oh, importing Gradle. Yeah, that's always a heavy task. But also I'm streaming, so oh wow, it's really hot. But I see the CPU is like at 20%, so interesting. Anyway, it can take a few minutes. So maybe let's jump back to the Safari, and here I have the article that actually triggered the whole Flow Modoro interest. So they it's briefly described here. Oh, there is like the I think that's the originator. Yeah, 2016. I think that's the oldest oldest source of this flow time. Okay. Okay, so she's using the analog way of start stop and then how long break should be. And describes some pros and cons probably. But anyway, this article was one I found, and the author here, Max Shen, he's actually building a tool. I think it's a web app to support using this way of working. And I noticed I think focus to do. You can also have not the Pomodoro like time. Not the Pomodoro timer like 25 minutes, 5 minutes break, but also you can just start the timer and it goes until you stop it. So there are apps that actually already provide some support to it. But I also want to have it in my app because I mean, how hard can it be, right? It's just a different mode of time counter. Yeah. How to implement it, stop the water, take a break. Okay, so the author even provides the steps how to implement the Flowmodoro here. I think this article was in the newsletter from Dev. But that's nice. Yeah, let's go back to Fleet. It's still working. Okay, it's indexing Swift module cache. I think until it's done with all the indexing for all the projects, and we have three, but I think the desktop one is also using the Gradle, or it will just run in JVM. So it should use the same as the shared and Android app. I think until it's done with everything, we won't be able to run it. Something interesting. Oh wow, a lot of libraries already. I should also create a Git repository for it. I think I had some repositories for individual projects, but not really for the there were the repositories were more for like Spike, not really the, let's say, the production app. So the something I'm building here now. Let me just change my light. Can I? Okay, I think it will more rotate the colors. Cool. Maybe this I can put on. Oh yeah, this is nice. I think I can also make it. Okay, I think it's done. So now if I go, can I run it? Cool. So now the idea already figured, okay, you have the Compose Android application. There is little like Android head. There is a Compose desktop app, so there is just a Gradle icon. And the iOS app, obviously they couldn't use the Apple symbol, so they use something weird, but you know it's Apple. So maybe let's do something cool and try to run the iOS app first. I think last time I was running it, it failed, but I maybe it failed. I don't know if here or in Android Studio, because in Android Studio you can kinda also run it, but I think Gradle task was wrong. Or there was some, I don't know, typo or task was missing or something just wasn't in sync. The thing is, on Android it will build, and on desktop actually, it will build really quickly, almost like instantly. But on iOS, well, you have to compile the Kotlin code to Objective-C and then link it to the iOS app. And I think the compiling for the iOS for the Objective-C code, and yeah, and then if you have Objective-C code, you have to compile it, right? Again, I'm not iOS developer, uh, but yeah, you have to compile it. And then you have Swift in the app, so you have to connect it all together, and that's why it's taking so long. I think the longest part is compiling the Kotlin to Objective-C, and it's causing some issues, especially with passing types or generics. There are some wrappers and some ways to get the information about the type. Okay, there was some error. Wonder if I see the simulator or not really. And I think I found a question on Stack Overflow somewhere why they are not compiling it to Swift, just using Objective-C, which is kind of obsolete. But the reason is the Objective-C will, if you create a code in Objective-C, you will be able to use it with Objective-C apps, with Swift in multiple versions, etc. If you decide to compile your code for Swift, I think 4 is the latest one, you will cut a lot of potential users. So they decided, JetBrains decided probably to go with Objective-C, as this will allow to more users, potential users, to actually use that technology. There should be a simulator already. Okay. Where did it go? Okay. And will it run? Okay. So it took a few minutes actually to build. And the application has like zero code. There is no logic. There will be one button and something pops out. And this iOS 7.17.2, it comes from the platform implementation, because the Kotlin multi-platform, it still works a bit similar way to Kotlin native, where you have some interfaces or values or functions declared in the shared module, but the information is only available on the concrete platform, so Android, iOS, or desktop, or web, or server, whatever. And one of that kind of information is what is the OS name or version that you are running. Like the shared module won't know it because it will run everywhere. So you can only create an interface there, and I'll show you that in a minute. So you create an interface in the shared module, and then you have platform module where you actually implement this interface and using the system details. And okay, so that's working on iOS. Let's run it on Android. Not sure if I have any working or in a decent state the emulators, but we'll see. Yeah, allow. Why you wanna use microphone? Ah, okay. Okay, so it started the emulator, and it took like 15 seconds, and it's there. You can see how bad the emulator works here, like this emulator compared to this simulator. This is smooth. This is not ready. But okay, we have it working. So let me close this. Let me close this and run it just for fun on the desktop. Or not. Yeah, let's do it. Should do it pretty fast because I haven't changed any code and most of that should be already compiled because of the iOS, and like the shared code should be already compiled. Oh, it's taking a while. Maybe it's not using the incremental builds. I think it might be some experimental flag in Gradle properties. Not sure yet. Okay. See, it's here. That's the app, and it will do exactly the same. So show the. Nope, that's not this app. That's a different app. It's from the test of Kotlin Multiplatform. Okay, it's here. And if I click it, it will not display the information because it's here. So yeah, so we are running Java 01. So the hello message comes from shared library, but then it uses the interface in shared library to display platform information that is then implemented in the platform. So let's see how it works actually. It's pretty interesting. So we have few modules here, like the Fleet Gradle idea. That's like the IDE or the project stuff. It doesn't really interest us at the moment. Gradle, same. So in the Compose app, is that the right view? Or I'm missing something? Anyway, let's go to source. Oh, cool. So we have common mine, and that's uh, the code for the application. There is not much going on here. Like that's the whole app. It's Jetpack Compose. Like it looks like every other Android app in Jetpack Compose, but it's Kotlin Multiplatform. So we are setting the theme. We get the greeting. That's from the shared code, and basically that's it. We have a button and the animated display with some yeah, with some flag that we modify with the button. So if you go to the greeting, you can see that we are getting something from the platform. We are displaying its name, right? So now if we go to the get platform, that's the thing I was talking about. So the interface declared in the common module that is shared between all the platforms. So here you say, I want to have a interface platform that will contain a name. And then this expect actually requires the Android module or the desktop module or iOS module to to have that implemented. So you can see there is one usage because it's used only in the shared module, but there are 3 implementations and 3 actuals. I mean, that would be the same in that case. So if we go to those actuals, because that's the 2 keywords that I think Kotlin Native introduced. So you have expect and actual. Expect is the declaration of the interface, and actual is the implementation of the interface for the particular platform. So now if we go to the so now if we go to the actuals, you can see it's implemented in all 3 platforms that we are using, so iOS, Android, and desktop. And this view is actually nice. So let's see it in iOS, for example. So okay, so we have a class that implements the same interface we have here, where we just have a name set from UI device. I think it's coming from the UI kit. Yeah. So you get system name and current system version. If you go here, you will have some compiled code from the UI kit. So this is not really something you're supposed to be seeing or even supposed to understand. But okay, let's close it. Yeah, and that's the actual implementation. So in that actual implementation, you return this class iOS platform that implements the interface declared in the shared module. And the same goes for JVM, so desktop. So you just return the Java version. If you go to super and is it Android? Yeah, Android platform. So this is very standard interface with one field, not even any methods, but with the methods would be the same. And then you expect every platform to return something. And you can have multiple interfaces like this to delegate the work that is specific for the particular system to it. So for stuff that the shared module cannot do, I guess probably like communicating with Bluetooth devices or I don't know, showing notifications, that would be different in iOS and Android. Definitely in both platforms you have very specific classes or instances that you or services that you will have to call to actually achieve what you want to do. But this is the way to abstract this platform details from the shared module. Okay, so I think I'll be working mostly with the Android app because it's the fastest to build. So the oh, and if we look in the desktop app or the iOS app, the iOS is my favorite. Like it's nothing here. It's just wrapping the app in the Compose UI view controller. Oh, it's coming from Android X even. I thought it would be something more iOS specific. Whatever. So we take the app from the shared module and just show it. Like that's it. Obviously, you can use the more native approach, so native views or native navigation, and then just use the data from the domain or view models or repositories that you will keep in the shared module. But even if you if you want to keep the let's say HTTP requests and data models in the shared module, I think it's still worth it because you will have to implement it just once, every new endpoint, or maintain it once for all of the projects. Yeah, and similar for Android, for desktop, sorry, you just I don't know anything about like what's even that framework. Uh, oh, you can have a preview. Can you have a preview? You can have a preview in Fleet. Cool. Okay. Okay. By the way, Fleet is, I think, recommended by JetBrains to use with Kotlin Multiplatform. No, the preview is not interactive. Yeah, obviously, but that's nice. AI assistant, Docker files. Okay, okay, okay. Start to like it. Uh, let's close it and let's see if I can see the preview of the. Okay, I don't have any preview here, but maybe let me just quickly create a composable from that code and then have a preview. It's greetings and make it composable. And then put like the whole thing here. Okay. Okay, so it's experimental, so I have to opt in and then I have to opt in here. Okay, and now I should be able to do the preview. Okay, this preview. Mm, always remember if you're doing Jetpack Compose previews to use the theme, because then if you don't use it, you may get a very different result than what you will see in the app. And the point of the previews is to actually have the same or as close as possible. What? Okay, that's interesting. Not what is how it's called in. Okay, and why I don't have the preview in the. That's interesting actually. Or maybe I should rather have it here and not in the app itself. Yes, I think. Okay, it's interesting. So there might not be a preview library for Jetpack Compose, the shared components at least. Let's remove it for now and go to here. And yeah, here we have a preview of the app. Cool. And why I cannot Compose UI preview? Cool, but why I cannot actually preview it? No, that would delete it. Interesting. So why it's allowing me to preview it here, but not in the Android. Maybe I should build it. That's not the app I want to show. So just starting the emulator. Okay, let me quickly open Safari and Google that issue. Let's do it here. Yeah, cool. 134. Can actually go to here and okay, so there is no hot reload. In Android Studio, it would probably automatically update the app in the emulator. Okay, so it's updated. Cool. Let's move it somewhere. But I don't like that I cannot see the whole app. Can I maybe have something smaller, some smaller view to, let's maybe copy this. Main activity. And it's gonna be dirty, but I just wanna take something. Don't want this, don't want this. Of course, it's composable, obviously. Import. Can I import everything at once? It'd be really nice to implement everything at once. Guess that's it. Of course, that's not the right import. Why would it be? The shortcuts I think are a bit different than I'm used to in IntelliJ. I cannot format it. I also noticed like the settings are much simpler, I think. Like I would really like to have some formatting rules. I usually use default, just have them so I don't have to break the lines manually or align everything. It's not how I would like this formatted, but anyway. Okay, so this is composable, and now I should be able to. Why I cannot just see it? Okay, let's. It kind of sucks because I really want to have all the views uh, in the shared code, and if I cannot preview them, it will kind of suck. Another problem is I cannot ask ChatGPT to help me, or at least it won't be able to help me that much because knowledge of ChatGPT stops at 2021, and this is newer, so it won't have or shouldn't have. I mean, sometimes it's lying about like where the knowledge of the model stops, but yeah. Oh, also I cannot install any plugins here, right? There are no like tools AI. Cool. Run and debug application appearance, data sharing status bar. Not not something I'm interested in. Okay, let's kill it. Let's hide it. Notifications don't care. JetBrains AI. Oh, now I can format stuff. Cool. So I have the tooling preview. Great, but like I still cannot preview the. I can do it on desktop. Cool. What's the shortcut? It's Control Shift R. Here it works. I think if I run it in Android Studio, it will just magically work. Let's maybe see the same in Android Studio. But let's use not the latest one. I think Hedgehog. It's because there is a plugin required to make it run. Open. That is not compatible with the Canary build of Android Studio. Yep. It's actually nice that the wizard creates a README with little information about like what is where. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. I don't want to update. Can I do project? I wonder how the iOS code will look in the. Oops, okay, it's here. And now let's go to desktop main. Okay, it's not really okay, but I cannot preview it. I also don't have the controls. Okay. And if I go to Android and then Kotlin. Okay, so it's analyzing. Great. I wanna see the preview. Why I cannot see the preview? Well, at least I can run it, but it's not really what I wanted to do. Because of the zoom. And there should be a way to class main activity. Just display it. I have the plugin for decompose. Okay, I have to install it. Do I have to restart? Is it running? Just quit. Uh, oh, we have a new icon here. Just zoom it. 350 should be enough. There is new icon, like E, expect, and then actuals. Okay, so I think the Fleet IDE actually displays is nicer because it's like on the top. But this is also not bad. I would really, really like to just see the preview of this. Again, I can see a preview here for the desktop. But I cannot see a preview of the Android. Can only run it. This is not what I want. Okay. Maybe let's see in the build Gradle what's there. Okay, it's a bit more complicated than usual apps, but we have actually 3 applications here. Okay, I saw there is something with source. Okay, that's okay. So we have Android here, desktop. Okay, so we have iOS, Windows, and even Debian. So it should run also on Ubuntu. Okay, and that's Kotlin. That's iOS. There won't be any iOS because it's Gradle file. So the iOS configuration is probably somewhere else. Uh, where is it? Uh, okay, never mind. This sucks because I really don't think I can work without the Android preview. Okay, that's desktop. Another problem working with the Android, with the Kotlin Multiplatform is that there is not much help you can find online. So I have to figure out how to do this. Okay, there is something. Read my dependencies. Will it work now? And there is tooling preview. Previous available is visible only in it's present only for Android. So I really don't know why works immediately on. Oh, maybe it's because I have added this code. Um, Nope. Yeah, I should definitely install Git here. I think now. Create a repository. Because I already don't know what changes I've made by randomly clicking on those pop-ups. I'll create a repository now. And now we should have something here. Yep, main branch, cool. What if I remove it? It's not exactly what I would like to see. Okay. Maybe there is something in the Kotlin Multiplatform documentation. Okay, there are some sample projects in the documentation. Yeah, let's see if they use the preview annotation and how they use it. Desktop solutions. Completely different, but okay. Of course, they don't. From what I see in the samples, they don't use the previews at all anywhere. Maybe I can find this repository. Not at all. It sucks. I really like to rely on the previews. Yeah, okay. Today I learned. Oh, okay, so the classes with the Android X uh, packages are also used in other modules. So that's why I was surprised to see those classes here with Android X, but we are on the desktop, but it's fine. In the preview tool, okay, it has a separate. Not interested in maps. I can go to preview. Okay, I see a lot of complaints that the library for the compose multiplatform doesn't really is not supported in the latest IntelliJ, and it seems that like it supports only the uh, desktop previews, but why why not this one? Like I have no clue. Or even the common main, right? Because I cannot just do the mm. Also, there is tooling preview Android. Okay. Still doesn't work. But now I will see what was changed in the Gradle. Yeah, it probably shouldn't go here. Mm-hmm. Of course it broke. Maybe if I put it in the Android uh, project. Yeah, I know it doesn't exist. And it will help. Pick it out here. Something. It kind of makes sense that it's not really available for the shared code because, well, you have to run it on some platform to see how it will look. But on the other hand, I mean, okay, not here. I seriously doubt it should be here. Okay, but at least now I know it's not the fleet problem. It's maybe I'll close Android Studio and just keep it in the yeah, but I still cannot preview it. Okay, seems that nope. Mm, it's also part Android cable times wireless. Mm, dependencies in Android desktop. It's kind of sad that when I changed the Gradle build file, it didn't ask me to sync here, or did it automatically to go to this smart mode? It's not very smart in that regard. Can I now have the nice preview, please? Well, I don't have it. Okay, we are in the common main. That's fair, but here. Oh, that's actually. Oh, yes. Uh, okay, no, that's fair. This is how it should look without, well, here background and setting the app somewhere. But what about preview for the shared? It's Android and desktop. So what's the point of having the views in the shared module if you cannot preview them? You have to preview them in the uh, in each, or maybe that's the whole point. Not have the views in the shared view in the shared module, but have them independently implemented for the particular platform. But then, hmm, okay, that's something I need to consider, because I don't know what are the good practices of Kotlin multi-platform development, if there still are any. Anyway, it would be kind of good to have, because wow, to have a way to see the views in the Because I can definitely, well, create composable here, right? I can move this code here, let's say. Great. And then in my activity, probably can import it, build it, and it should be fine. Rather than working here. Yes, obviously. Oh, it's actually a good idea to commit the changes now. Is there a... No, that's not what I was looking for. Let me not update. Okay, so now this is okay. Is this needed? I don't get it. But if I remove that, Okay, so seems that this error that I see here is an error when you use some latest versions. But there seems to be a solution. Oh, mhm. Wonder if that's the latest one. Okay, okay. Will it work? Yep, it does. So now if I okay, mm, I mean it will behave the same as with the app because the app also comes from yeah, I'm so sample. Cool. But I cannot preview it here, right? Mm. Okay, so at least I learned that you cannot really preview in the shared module. I would like to have previews there. Not sure if it makes sense because you implement like the platform specific views in the platforms, but still wouldn't hurt. And the iOS is not supported, so you have to build it each time. Uh, okay, but let's maybe add the navigation and the screens and call it a day. Yeah, so it seems like the views are usually in the platform code, and it means that you cannot really share them, or at least for now you cannot share them. But you can share the like states, view models, repositories, all that clean code bullshit. Uh, And that's also interesting to know because now I want to do the navigation, right? I mean, that's the that's the app that I'm displaying anyway. Okay, let's remove this one. So should I put the navigation here, the app, uh, or where? Or should I put it in the main activity or like in the each individual platform? It would make sense actually because if I have a desktop app and mobile apps, the navigation will look kind of different. Like you don't really have a bottom navigation bar in the desktop apps, right? That would be weird because you have so much more screens, so you can have a different way of navigating through screens. I really I'm confused now. Ideally, I would find some project on GitHub that already solves that. Uh, but there may be no. Or maybe I don't really want to have it in the shared module because the iOS navigation may also work differently, or I want to have the same functionalities, but not necessarily in the same places. Like even if you compare the big apps like Duolingo or I don't know Instagram even, you it they're built a bit differently for both platforms. I think there is more features also on iOS than on Android, but I would really like to see some application on GitHub, like how they did it. Okay, there is some common UI. Okay, I think I found the cool app. Because it's not that big, so it's called Quotes. It's linked on the Moco website. And it has a button navigation that looks the same for both platforms. It kind of looks bad on iOS. Wonder why. I mean, it's not like full screen. Yeah, probably you'll have to. Oh, oh. Okay, so clearly the UI is shared here between iOS and Android, and this is something I would like to do. So let me just start it. Yeah, that's a good start. And then app, desktop app, iOS app, data rules, build source. Let's go to app. Okay. App initializer, whatever that is. Is it like Mocha? Might be. Okay, I love it because there is nothing in the app, so everything should be in shared, I guess. Common UI, and now if I go desktop iOS common main. Okay, we are deep. Components, progress bar, text field. Want to find where the bottom navigation is. Text resources, desktop iOS. I think it's shared, but not really here. Theme. Yeah, even having a theme that is shared is useful. Oh, wow, it's so deeply hidden. Oh, yeah, the previous again. Strike back. It's kind of suck to work on the view and not be able to see the preview. Okay, that's the view model. That's the use case, I guess. Yeah. Okay, that's the state. So the use case is returning some sort of result. Check that later. Maybe I should just get this repository and that would be easier. Wait, I still can't preview it here, right? I think I won't be using Fleet that much if I cannot use the Android previews here. And it works in Android Studio, but okay. Mm, nice. I mean, like the whole code is here, and this is awesome. Okay, it's using coin. Cool. That's basically the tech stack I wanna use. I don't know about this, like splitting for feature modules. On the one hand, it looks very clean, but it seems also like it will create a lot of boilerplate code. I don't know. I may try it though. But this split is nice. Features, there is just common, the app modules, having both. Oh, button navigation. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I wanted. Okay, so there is a view that is using the items, of course, and that's the whole button navigation, right? But still, no previews. Okay, navigation. Can I see where it's used? Not really. That's interesting. Okay. I think this is a really nice project to look into the details, like how to split packages and modules. Nice. Just cleaning up. There is a script. Recommit Linux. Ah, nice. Running static analysis before the commit. That's nice. Wonder how fast it is. I saw the custom data rules. Why you need the whole package for it? Ah, you can use it in detect. I didn't know that. That's nice. But why you even need that if you have so many modules? Very nice project overall. Like, come on. Okay, so for now, I think the biggest problem for me is the lack of previews in the shared module. Because if you create a view there or declare the view, really good to have some preview. Because you also have a theme there, but you can preview only in desktop and Android. Hmm. It's kinda sucks to be honest. Yeah, so this project is like long living, constantly refactor to the new principles. That's neat. Okay. Mm, okay, I don't know if I would like to rely on navigation in my project on something that has 43 stars and is maintained by two guys. Uh, so maybe that this is something that I would still leave to the native app to do. Why you have to use the practices? Why you have to use the navigator, like some third-party library, and not just use uh, the usual one for Android Compose? Jetpack Compose, sorry. It's an interesting topic, actually. Is it built already? Jesus Christ, it's 10 minutes. I think I need a little break while it's still building. It's still going. Yeah, so it seems that during the last refactor of this project, the author, what's his name? Whatever. So he moved the code from maybe it was in the previous one. I don't know, but he moved the code, like the views, that's the composable for the code item, from like Android or platform module to this shared module with the preview, which is obvious you want to have your preview, but it doesn't work in the shared, so it's commented here. I wonder if it's still indexing, so I cannot see where is it used, but I wonder if in the place where it's used in the concrete platforms for Android or iOS, there is a preview just to see how it looks. But so far I start to like the structure, like those features in the shared module, and then uh, I don't know if I like using the third-party library for navigation, and I don't know yet why you would need a third-party library. Uh, and I wonder how it behaves in iOS. Okay, let me call the root. I usually like to keep the state because this one is used in the view model, I guess. What? Add new quote author. What? Oh, okay, that's like oh yeah, it's here, the reactive way. So you have quote author, okay. We have on text changed, and then we change the. Dude, you have like three states here. Why not just update the UI state with multiple? Why not have a quote author in the UI state? Just have it separately. So you update this one, cool. Reset. Okay, you could just reset one state. And then probably, that's my guess, this quote author is observed. Because this one is public. So we observe the change, or this method is called from the say add new code. Okay, that's view model. So I would need a screen, I guess. Uh, oh yeah, we have the view model here. Uh, and screen. Okay. add new code screen. So that's here. Okay. Text field state. So I kind of don't like it because you have three states. You could have one. Don't really see the reason why divide the state for multiple fields. If you don't want to pass a state here, okay, so that's the text field state. So that's something different. Okay, so here you observe the state of the text that could be. Okay, so keep this thing, but that could be like a single state that you probably observed here, UI state. Because imagine if you have a longer form and you have like 20 fields, you observe all of them. You probably didn't want to like update the view with each, the whole view with the single change, like if you add a new letter or something, so we just observe it here. But I think it would rebuild it like anyway. And then there is this on something changed. I don't know, it seems overcomplicated. I mean, calling the method of the Jesus Christ, it's still building. Calling the method to update the state of the view model after you put some new text, that's fine, because then you can perform some operations. You're not really doing it. Right? Wait, okay, what methods you have in VM? You have add quote, and that's probably happening when it's private. No, when you click some button, or whatever. Let's go to the screen. Ah, there is on click add. And you probably want to preserve the text that you have mm, in the fields if you rotate the screen or go back or something, but that still could be just part of the state, or even create like a bit smarter UI that can keep the value, I think by remember or something, and then just pass it when like on click add, pass the values from these texts. Yeah, I mean, instead of that, that could be local actually, and then you pass it here, and the VM then you get rid of that, and you get rid of that, and get rid of that. Overall, I really like it, but it can be so much simpler if you just don't stick strictly to some principles. Like how many times you can update indexes of this project? This is a fairly simple app, and building it takes so much time. And I think it's because how much stuff is actually used here. But I will read those posts that, whoa. Oh, come on. Maybe I just use some music here. I bet if I get copy strike. What is that? Is Mocha actually generating that much code that is making everything slower? Okay, that's for resources, that makes sense. I start to wonder if even starting with Kotlin Multiplatform is a good idea, or I should just start with 100 app and then slowly refactor it to reuse some of the code in the iOS. Let's see the use cases. I think I'm interested in the return. Ah, it's just a result. Okay, that's nice. I would do this in another class actually. And I kinda don't like that, because the use case then is just a proxy for repository. You don't check anything here, you don't map the whatever it's thrown in the is the repository, yes. Okay, that's just the interface. Where is it implemented then? It's still building iOS like constantly. Okay, here's something more. Error entity, what's that? Oh, this result is also not the Kotlin result, it's from... Is it Mocha? Ah, this is for the error handling. Let's see in the Mocha website. If only it works. Okay, and delete errors. That may be useful, but from my experience, you often have to handle errors more individually than just, oh, I got exception, let's show it to the user in some way. Because sometimes you want to, yeah, but then you can catch it if you don't want to show it to the user. and not propagated to the UI. Okay. This seems to be solving a lot of issues. But there is a reason why it has only 52 stars and other libraries has like 900. It's because you probably want to handle errors more individually. And having like a framework for that doesn't solve all the issues, or you will have to work really heavy with the framework to achieve what you need. And then what's the point if you still have to implement a lot of stuff on your own? Also, less dependencies is better, and I see that this project has like millions of... It's still building. Let's see what else is here. VVM is cool. I wonder why. Oh, permissions, okay. What's up? What's mustache? Oh, nice actually. Swagger JSON and then generating the classes or the whole API, right? Yeah, probably that's why it's taking so long. And you probably have to... But first you have to have a Swagger API, right? done. Cool. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna see what's that. And I wanted to see okay, where's that? Application, okay, what it is. Okay, so the service is created with the bare bones creator client. That's cool. Ah, because I think that socket request response. That's fine. I don't like use cases with multiple get all quotes of pagination with multiple methods. I mean, invoke obviously will look a bit different than calling this, but I would probably push it to the separate use case that would just return the flow. It's also interesting. Flow result list quote. I would rather say that you will get a result with a flow or a result with an error rather than flow of results. But wait, this is observe first page of page quotes. Interesting. Let's go here. Yeah, I want to see the three implementations. Obviously fake for tests. We have two fakes. What's the difference between common main and okay, root is fine, but okay, so this is just the implementation, and here you have the source. Code mapper. Yes. Okay, I probably wouldn't. What's that? Wskakujesz czy nie? Nic nie ma. Mhm. Okay, so because the author here used the some framework for I think this no wait network mapper zero class, isn't it? Yes. Okay, I think I would just use extension methods to translate domain to the request. There's really a lot of boilerplate that may look nice, may check all the boxes in like clean architecture, whatever, but I think it's total overkill. Because you created an interface, right? Okay. And then you use it in multiple places rather than just use the... And then you probably have to test it also. And all it does is take this and returns this. While you could do like and that's it. Without this override, blah, blah, whatever. And it's also easy to test. You just take a quote, call this, you get new quote request, and check if it fits to what you expect that to be. But then you wouldn't have that nice structure of inheritance, and then you wouldn't use the dependency injection to create in the factory that quote mapper. Like, I don't know, last application I've done was so simple because we just used a lot of extension functions very locally, so only services were using them because they were getting the domain models and they were producing then the stuff expected by the backend, and we didn't use any of that, any of those like feature also splits. I kind of like it, but I think it's too much boilerplate to make it work. I don't think I want to do it this way, honestly. I think I will just maybe I should actually start from creating very simple stuff that works and then slowly refactoring it rather than creating some monstrosity. Although I like this one, and having use cases also organized in modules and then constructing it from with the features. That's close feature. I don't know. I think it's way too much is going on here, and if it works for you, fine. But I think it's way too complex. For example, for a new developer to come into that project and figure out what's going on. And if you start adding more features, you would also realize that this structure is kind of limiting, because you also have to add just this one new thing here, and then it explodes. It also explodes with the code review or pull request side. Co zejść? Tenek. With the code review size, because even if you, I don't know, add a new field somewhere or add a new class, it will inherit from something like this view mapper. No, sorry, not view mapper, but this. Yeah. So. Heck. So just to check. Okay, there is one implementation of this network mapper. One. It's used twice. And not even once in tests. So what's the point of this interface? You have one implementation and it's not even faked in the test, because why would you like to fake it? You actually want to use the real one here. And oh, entity mapper. Oh, so that's probably to database storage. Cool. I think it's insanely overcomplicated, like for the sake of being complicated. I will be closing the stream. There's no one here. Anyway, but I learned a few things about the limitations of Kotlin Multiplatform projects. And it also creates some doubt in my head. Do I want to do it like that, or just do it natively? I would really like to play a bit with you also have like logging here or analytics, crashlytics, whatever, but this is usually something that goes across all the features and all the layers, because you want to log API errors or errors when you do some logic or whatever, or track the path of the user for analytics. And then it gets really ugly usually, because you have like a common module that you pass everywhere and use everywhere, because you want to call a special function somewhere, because there is no, unless you're up for like aspect programming, then it usually makes code ugly. It's also good to know what you want to track actually. That's for test. Okay, so you create a new HTTP client for every feature with the same setup. It seems wrong. We are in quotes, and if I go now to profile, will I find the same? Source, common main, there's only presentation. But you see what's going on here. It's a feature module, quotes. There can be like 15 feature modules, and the HTTP client is declared here. So if you have 15 modules that talk with server, you will have 15 HTTP clients with the same like headers sharing the token, or handling the authorization. Seems wrong, maybe with different logging levels, because for some features you want to log everything, for some others you would like to log only, you know, body or headers. This solution looks like it will scale, but it won't. Like this should also be okay. So one of the posts was implementing clean architecture, I think. So this shouldn't be in the feature. This should be like the supporting outside layer or networking or something. Maybe let's go to the diagram for clean architecture. Yeah, I want a bigger picture. Yeah, so that would be in like web or external interfaces. So other, like the green interface, and there's application business rules. Yeah, that thing. This is features, use cases, entities. This is features. You also have some UI, so you would have to slice like the whole. Okay, it's cool. Hexagonal ports and adapters. Yeah, but so every feature is a slice or a combination of all of those layers. And I don't know, maybe it can work for some use cases, some applications, but well, typically you would like to have a single instance of HTTP client. So then you may have, I know, services that get injected that HTTP client, that then repositories use those services, but there is a single instance of it, and that instance is configured in one place. So in case you have to add some headers or something, you do it in one place, not in every feature. Or maybe the split for features is too granular, because the feature is not like quotes, profile, something else. This whole thing is one feature. Because then you may actually want to have a feature that talks with a different API and have a differently configured client. Then it's fine. But you can also achieve that with having a separate service that gets injected a different client. Was it me or what? So yeah, going back here. This exists only one feature, but it could potentially be in multiple ones. and it has really very simple config. Okay, now you have the services that probably my dog is annoying. Often I think like splitting the like that for features when you have the view models, fine, because that's rather that will be uniquely used in single place, but use cases, well, you can always create a new use case that will be using the different feature maybe that will rely on the same services, but here the services or even the API is, I think you don't have services, you have like only the repository that gets the data source, and then the data source actually has the implementation. Yeah, it has network handler. Maybe this is actually nicer. I usually call it a service, but data source. Data source. I don't know. When I have a service, I know I'm talking with network. If I have a data source, I would probably think that it takes data from like local database or something. Network handler. Usually when you call the thing handler, it's something fishy going on. Who's handling network? Okay, has network connection. Ah, but this is for sockets, right? What's that symbol? Suspend functions. Here you get a result. Oh, another funny thing. That's more for like code review thingy. But if you have a function that like here you don't, this result unit is not visible. If you have a function that returns something, but it's not clearly instantly like 100% visible what will be the return type, don't just write the return type. Don't use the equals and the thingy, because if I see it on GitHub during the code review, I won't see this result unit, and this is okay, fairly obvious return type. I mean, I can think that there will be a result from the network connection, something, but not really the unit. Then maybe some data or string or whatever. So just don't. I disagree with idea of doing pull requests in IDE. I know it's possible, and then you get all the highlighting and stuff, but I want to be able to do a code review in a notepad, because if I cannot figure out what's going on in the notepad, probably something can be done better, and you're not saving any like characters or information or whatever by not explicitly telling what are you using here. I think on some conference, maybe it was even the Kotlin conf, when they were showing the some stuff that it was in 2019 when I was on Kotlin conf in Copenhagen. They were showing also some learnings that they, because Kotlin had some awesome features from the beginning. I think that was one of those, and it was said that what I just said, if it's not absolutely clear what the function is returning, please write the type. My dog is going crazy after his tail. Benek! Chodź. Benek. Okay, I think I need to wrap it up and finish, but I have quite a lot of fun commenting other people's code while not writing any of mine own. I need to write some summary of the learnings for today, but yeah, it was pretty educational evening for me, I would say. So until the next time, see ya.